Developing tonight, another shooting involving federal immigration agents, this time in Portland, Oregon. This as outrage grows over a deadly shooting in Minnesota, including here in St. Louis.
If the people cannot protest and cannot call wrong wrong, what are we if not cowards and traitors?
Tensions rising over St. Louis's tornado recovery.
You can ride around North St. Louis City and see it is a lot worse than it was on May 16th.
The storm of frustrations aired out just hours ago.
Long story short, we are tired.
We start tonight at 10 with a weather impact alert. Storms packing heavy rain and winds are moving through the bi-state. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Let's get straight over to meteorologist Lance Blocker, who is tracking a severe thunderstorm warning right now.
Yeah, we've got a warning right now in effect. It has been updated here over the past 15 minutes or so, but you can see across the region a broken line of showers and thunderstorms extending northeast to southwest. This will continue to travel northeastbound over the next 15 to 20 minutes. This warning in effect through 10:30. This is going to be for Clinton County, Washington County here. This cell was showing some rotation earlier. I'll show you that in a moment. National Weather Service did a great job holding off on upgrading this to a tornado warning, but there was some brief rotation with it earlier. It's currently capable of wind gusts upwards of about 60 miles per hour, in addition to heavy rain and some occasional lightning and gusty winds as well. You can see some of the winds here. It looks like that's just changed. The data has changed, but not seeing any distinct markers of rotation with that. We'll head southbound, additional showers and storms extending through Phelps County. And again, this will continue to press southeast or press eastbound over the next couple of hours or so. Not expecting much in the way of severe weather. We've talked about that all day, where we've been on this impact alert for the potential for a brief spin-up tornado or two. That threat is lowering. However, if you look across the region right now, temperatures-wise, average high this time of year is 40 degrees. We're still in the mid to upper 60s, so there is some fuel remaining for these storms over the next couple of hours. We'll continue to monitor those. I've got your full forecast on what to expect tonight and some cooler air by this weekend coming up here in about 10 minutes.
Breaking tonight in Portland, Oregon, a man and woman are hospitalized, and officials are calling for calm after a shooting involving Customs and Border Protection agents. There's no word on the condition of those two people or what led to the shooting. In response, Portland's mayor is calling on ICE agents to leave the city until a full investigation is completed. And hours ago, protesters took to the Grove neighborhood, joining a wave of national outrage following the fatal shooting of a mother by an ICE officer in Minneapolis.
5 on your side's Brent Solomon has our report.
Through the pouring rain and blocked off streets, the message from the Grove loud and clear Thursday night.
I can't just sit home and not do anything. I can't stop ICE terror because they are terrorists, domestic terrorists. They are not police, they're not law enforcement, they are terrorists.
The anger stems from the death of Renee Good, a 37-year-old U.S. citizen shot by an ICE officer in Minneapolis, while government officials say the officer fired because a vehicle was, quote, impeding operations. Protesters call it an assassination.
If the people cannot protest and cannot call wrong wrong, what are we if not cowards and traitors? This disrupts the propaganda and the lies that say that the people support this.
As sirens and chants fill the air, there are others who see ICE crackdowns differently.
One side sees that the overall broader ICE enforcement activities are part of a larger effort to reduce crime and lawlessness, perceived lawlessness in communities.
SLU law professor Richard Middleton notes high-profile crimes involving undocumented individuals have fueled a demand for stricter enforcement, though he acknowledges the lack of oversight is a growing concern for many.
One contingency that sees that this overall movement by ICE is in an effort to sort of rid our communities of persons who are in the United States unlawfully, who may have a criminal background.
Well, tonight we are learning more about the other young woman killed in a wrong-way crash in North St. Louis County. It happened last Friday along Highway 367 near Chambers Road in Moline Acres. Hours ago, 5 on your side's Robert Townsend spoke with Kiara Brady's family.
It was just 2 nights into the new year, and family members say Kiara Brady, her wife, and Brady's uncle were out having fun.
Her and her wife was celebrating her wife's birthday.
Around 11 Friday night, the three traveled south on Highway 367 near Chambers Road in North County. Brady's relatives say her 21-year-old uncle was driving his Chrysler 300 at the time when the unimaginable happened.
It was very hard to believe.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol says the northbound driver lost control of his car, crossed into the southbound lanes on 367, and crashed into a Mazda. We've now learned Kiara Brady was the passenger in the Chrysler who died.
She was the life of the party. She was a sweetheart.
Kiara's wife, Khadidra, suffered critical injuries. The couple, married for just 4 months, has a 9-year-old son.
She's on life support, so pretty bad.
Kiara's uncle was also seriously hurt.
I think he's out the hospital. I don't know his condition. I just know that I think he might have a collapsed lung.
22-year-old Ariana Elliott, the Mazda driver, also died. Her cousin, Janae Richardson, and their friend, Shamaya Dyson, are still in the hospital.
Condolences to the other family that lost their child as well. We're praying for their family as well.
Missouri State Highway Patrol is still investigating the crash. Meantime, Kiara Brady's family is uniting and trying to cope with the immense pain.
I feel numb. I feel angry. But I know my life is not going to stop. I have to move on, but she will always be in my heart.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Hours ago, a judge sentenced the man responsible for hitting and killing St. Louis police officer David Lee to 15 years in prison. During today's sentencing, Ramon Chavez Rodriguez had to listen to Officer Lee's grieving mother.
Not only did you strip me of my son, but his children of an amazing father.
Chavez Rodriguez, who's in the country illegally, pleaded guilty to last year's deadly DWI crash along I-70. He was already sentenced to 7 years in prison for an unrelated domestic violence case. Well, tempers flared tonight as St. Louis residents blasted the city and the Board of Aldermen for failing to spend tornado relief money effectively, if at all.
It's been almost 8 months since the devastating May 16th tornado hit. 5 News Time's Laura Barcheski just got back from a meeting.
Yeah, Mike and Kelly, tensions were high at City Hall tonight as tornado victims spoke in front of the Board of Aldermen's Budget Committee, saying the north side is in worse shape now than when the tornado hit. And the response from the Office of Recovery Leaders was pretty grim.
This is what North St. Louis looks like right now. The rain, snow, and roller coaster of temperatures continues to peel away at buildings and people's lives.
This holiday season was much different for me. I still don't have a bedroom 8 months later. All of my neighbors are gone. There's 6 homes that have people living in them now.
On paper, the city says they've allocated $428 million to recovery efforts, with $1.6 billion in damage and counting. More than $43 million is from the Rams settlement money. $38.6 million has been awarded, but only $9 million has been spent.
All of these partners that executed these contracts with us, they all started working after the ENA approval. That was their notice to proceed. They all started working, and they're all working at some risk, but the work started when the contracts were awarded.
The Office of Recovery says more than 5,000 homes were impacted by the tornado, but only 184 of them have been stabilized and repaired. Only 69 buildings have been demolished.
We have launched an emergency rental and hotel assistance. We have 340 rental units through vacant unit turns that we're working to get online as quickly as possible, and there have been 517 building permits issued in the tornado zone.
Tornado victims say they really aren't seeing the help.
Even floors falling in on our basement. We've applied for the impacted tenant fund, haven't heard anything.
And they're losing neighbors and family members, not just a relocation.
On October 27th, Mr. Curry was found dead in a home. And all Kim can think about is the last things that he said, man, they not gonna help us. And I'm not gonna never see my house back right. I need y'all to see these people. See the lives that you are affecting with your idleness.
There is another community resource meeting coming up on January 20th where tornado victims can get access to more services. They have not announced a time and location yet, but we'll keep you updated.
A live look at the U.S. Capitol tonight, where hours ago the U.S. House voted to revive funding to lower the cost of health care premiums. 17 Republicans joined Democrats to extend subsidies for the Affordable Care Act. No Republican who represents the bi-state voted yes. The subsidies expired at the end of 2025, causing skyrocketing health care costs for millions of Americans. The bill is likely doomed in the Senate.
Now to a live look at Enterprise Center, the center of Olympic action tonight. Just minutes ago, the second day of competition wrapped up at the U.S. Figure Skating Championships.
Tonight, the men took the ice, including the quad god, and Corey Miller is here to tell us about it.
Well, the men had a lot to live up to at Enterprise Center from what happened last night. The women's short program saw an all-time record for best score broken twice. Tonight was all about emotion. A year ago, skater Maxim Naumov lost his parents in that tragic plane crash that devastated U.S. figure skating. In his short program tonight, Naumov made them proud. He tallied an 85.72 overall score and got a standing ovation from the Enterprise Center crowd. At the time, the score was the best of the night. He would end up finishing fourth. And after his performance, Naumov made sure to take a moment to honor his parents with their picture as he heard his score. As for the quad god, Ilya Malinin, we will see part of his dazzling performance later on in sports and hear from an Olympic legend who has a pretty great way of summing up Malinin's dominance.
Cooking up some St. Louis Italian cuisine fit for an Olympian. Tonight, an Olympic gold medalist gives us the dish on Team USA's chances in Milan.
It's a historical team.
And scattered showers and a few thunderstorms still continue across the area. We're tracking one severe thunderstorm warning. I've got your latest forecast coming up.
Well, as we've been talking about, the U.S. Figure Skating Championships are in full swing at Enterprise Center, and few people know the pressure of earning a spot on Team USA better than Brian Boitano, who captured Olympic gold in 1988. These days, Boitano brings championship skill level precision to the kitchen.
And while he's in town, Michelle Lee and I, full-on fangirls, decided to pay him a visit at his pop-up lounge inside Enterprise, but we couldn't show up empty-handed.
Okay, Kelly, you brought me to the hill. What are we doing here?
Okay, I have a dear friend, kind of a big deal here. I think he can whip up the perfect dish.
Ooh, okay, should we go inside?
Yes.
Okay.
So we headed to one of the most iconic kitchens on the hill. Dominic. Oh my goodness.
Hey, Kelly.
How are you?
What are you doing here?
Oh my goodness.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi,
how are
I'm
you?
Michelle. Hi.
Oh, good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Okay, I'll tell you while we're here, because we need a dish from the best. We are going to Brian Boitano's party, and we need something nice.
Do you think you could help us with a signature dish?
Of course I can. You know, I'm specialized in dishes. So, I know he would like this pasta. Pappardelle. Pappardelle is perfect. We're going to do it together.
Okay.
Andiamo.
Do it. Okay,
Andiamo.
we'll follow you.
What do you think? I have my knife.
Dominic Galati has been creating his signature Italian dishes for decades, and we, as his sous chefs, aprons on while still fangirling Brian.
This will give us a little extra inspiration because we love you, Brian.
We love you.
Let's get started.
We have pappardelle imported, prosciutto, cheese, the spinach, basil, olives, fresh garlic, butter, and olive oil.
Dominic gets busy in his kitchen.
Let's saute it very lightly. It's changing a little golden brown. Then you add your wine.
And wait for it.
Okay.
More chopping, pasta boiling, timing it just right.
Al dente, in Italy, they throw you in the ocean if it's not.
Oh! And in just a few minutes, an Italian dish fit for an Olympian.
Oh sole mio.
Brian! We showed up at Boitano's Lounge ready to dish.
And we have a special dish whipped up from a special chef.
Is there anything different or reminiscent to you? Something that sticks out to you about, like, for instance, the women's team, or
Yes.
I mean, or the potential women's team, I should say. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a historical team because
We are for the first time going into an Olympic season with 3 world gold medalists. So we've never had that in like the history. So our ice dancers are world champions, our man is a world champion, and our woman is a world champion.
If the world was ending today and you had to have one meal, what is your one perfect meal?
I love braised proteins, so like lamb shank or short rib or pork shoulder. I love braised, like soft, fall off the bone, like kind of proteins.
We started as fangirls and left as fast friends, shared plates, and an Olympic legend who still knows how to make a moment feel special.
Cheers! Look in the eyes, look in the eyes.
Cheers! You can see the entire interview as Michelle and I dish with Brian Boitano and Dominic in a 30-minute special streaming right now on our KSDK app. Just scan the QR code on your screen to download for free.
And he can cook too.
Oh, yes.
So,
He had his own show on Food Network
That's
for a
right.
while. Yeah.
All right, meteorologist Lance Blocker joins us now with the weather impact forecast. We've had these storms tonight. Where do we stand right now?
Yeah, we've had a few reports of damage across portions of Illinois. We've still got some storms moving through the region at this hour. We're going to track those out. You can see as you check through the evening hours, through the overnight hours, that should weaken. We expect to see the severe risk really through about 11 p.m. Could be extended to about 11:30 or so. There is a general weakening trend, but we're not out of the woods for maybe an isolated brief spin-up tornado. This was never a big threat today. We expected it to be more isolated in nature, and it certainly played out that way as well. Most of that activity now pressing eastbound back behind this main line of convection. There's really no more severe risk at all. It's really out ahead of that. In fact, looks like the National Weather Service may have just canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Clinton and Washington counties here. And as a matter of fact, it looks like that new update, they did go ahead and cancel it. It's expected to go through about 10:30. Could still see some strong wind gusts upwards of about 30 to 40 miles per hour. This was a line segment that had some rotation in it earlier and some wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. These cells have weakened along with really the rest of the line here too over the past hour or so as they move eastbound away from that primary system. You can see more scattered variety showers here, maybe some rumbles of thunder mixing in and some gusty winds down to the south. All of this activity pressing eastbound as well. We've seen the wind gusts upwards of 55, 60 miles per hour today for a few isolated locations. Most folks just having wind gusts around 25 or 30 miles per hour. Again, we had some strong winds with a thunderstorm over Montgomery County, 1,400 folks without power there, but the rest of the region here pretty much damage free from these showers and storms. We expect to see these through the overnight hours. Again, press eastbound by 12:30, really out of our area and weakening quickly. Check out the temperatures here in the 50s and 60s for us, even overnight tonight. But tomorrow morning, those temperatures will begin to fall. Tomorrow afternoon, highs only reaching into the low 50s, so certainly cooler than what we've seen the past couple of days, and of course, quieter here as well. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, you can see that in view. Again, this weekend, as we get through tomorrow on and through Saturday and Sunday, the cooler air returns back to the region for both those days, with then highs in the low to mid 50s for us by Monday and Tuesday. But I can promise you, and we've talked about this, the extended forecast view looking towards the second half of January. If you want winter back, it's on its way.
Are we talking about snow or just cold temperatures?
No, too far out to be certain on any type of winter weather activity with snow or anything ice related.
But we're talking about
definitely talking
January
about
temperatures.
January temperatures.
All
For sure.
All right. Thanks. Here's Corey with sports.
Well, the Quad God took the ice at Enterprise Center. Illinois hoops looked great again, and we pay tribute to Mr. Goalie Glenn Hall. Sports is up after the break.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel is now available in Missouri.
It's a name everyone in St. Louis came to see, Ilya Malinin. In just a few weeks, the 21-year-old from Virginia will be one of the most famous athletes in the world. But the folks at Enterprise Center got a sneak peek of the Quad God before the Olympics. Tonight, Malinin competed in the men's short program skate, and boy, did the folks in attendance get their money's worth. Malinin lit up the Enterprise Center with his talent that even included a full black backflip. Wait for it, there it is. Mike Bush can do that. Malinin scored a massive 115.10. The next closest competitor, 89.26. Here's how gold medalist and commentator Scott Hamilton describes Malinin's dominance.
Ilya won a competition
in France this year by 74 points. He won the Grand Prix final after coming third in the short program. He came back and won by 34 points. This guy is a 5 to 10 touchdown champion every time.
Illinois Hoops hosted Rutgers tonight in Champaign, and they didn't have much of a problem. Good offensive rebounding results in a Jake Davis triple. Later on, true freshman Keaton Wagler is really coming into his own. Backs down to the defender and one. Then on the other end, more of the same from Wagler. He had a game-high 17 points as the Illini roll over Rutgers 81-55. The seemingly inevitable is underway. According to The Athletic, the 9 MLB teams, including the Cardinals, who are waiting on the decision, have decided to terminate their contracts with FanDuel Sports Network's parent company. Commissioner Rob Manfred said that the league is prepared to take over production of local broadcasts if necessary.
And then Jim Montgomery said, hey, we're going to make a goalie change here, but they couldn't find Joel Hofer. Binnington didn't come out of the net. And then during that last commercial break, we were trying to locate Joel Hofer, and I think we found him. Look very close. Oh, there he is.
Well, if you've been online at all today, you've probably seen that video from last night. Monty not being able to find Joel Hofer to replace Jordan Binnington after Chicago's 7th goal last night. Sort of sums up the Blues' troubles this season, doesn't it? The Note are back in action tomorrow in Utah. St. Louis lost a sports icon yesterday with the death of former Blues goaltender Glenn Hall at the age of 94. Senior sports producer Andy Moeller looks back on his historic legacy.
Moving down here to the man that the fans affectionately call Mr. Goalie, Glenn Hall. And
he was already a legend before he came to St. Louis. For his first 7 seasons in the league and 502 games in all, Glenn Hall didn't miss a start. 6 times he was the league's first-team goaltender.
Stop! Glenn Hall, stop that!
Hall was going to retire in 1967, but the expansion Blues selected him in the draft. The money offered by the Solomon family was too good to pass up at age 35.
Bobby Russo failed in his bid to tie it up.
Hall was fabulous in the 1968 Stanley Cup Finals, the MVP on the losing team. In 68-69, he and fellow legend Jacques Plante teamed up to win the Vezina Trophy for Best Goaltender.
Don and Berenson, Westfall rolled it in.
The following year, Hall was immortalized, but not in the way he would have wanted.
Behind the net to Sanderson.
He gave up Bobby Orr's cup-winning goal, Boston's number 4 flying through the air in a prize-winning photograph. Hall remembered the moment in a 2019 interview with The Athletic's Jeremy Rutherford.
I told him, I said, Bobby, I showered before you landed, and I think I had.
Glenn Hall, Blues Hall of Famer, and Mr. Goalie. Andy Moeller, 5 on Your Side Sports.
502 straight games starting in net. I am very confident that's never going to be broken.
Never again. That will never happen.
Yeah.
Corey, thanks.
Okay, get ready to be tackled by cuteness. The Show Me Pups showing up for the Puppy Bowl.
All right, everyone, so we're getting a look at some of the unique swag that's being unveiled at the Figure Skating Championships this week. I think it's so cool because this is all done by the Sports Commission, and then they work with the Regional Arts Commission and some other groups. So, you know, you saw Reagan with her gloves.
Cute.
Check these out. These are so cool. So what she didn't tell you, I don't think, is that
Are they tech touch?
Meet me in St. Louis. How cool is that?
Test them out. See if they're tech touch.
Yes,
Perfect.
they are.
Yes.
So the one thing that's really cool about this is that if you go on Thursday, the first 1,000 people who have tickets will get these gloves. So that's something that everyone can enjoy.
And if you haven't heard, Super Bowl 60 will air right here on 5 on Your Side on February 8th.
And there's another big game that day, the Puppy Bowl. And tonight we know 3 pups at the Humane Society of Missouri will be on the field. Cheesecake, Paris, and Boba have been named to the roster for Team Fluff. They're among the 150 rescue dogs from 72 shelters across the country.
All right,
Couldn't be cuter.
And Lance has one final check of our weather impact forecast. We know we've had thunderstorms, maybe some damage as well.
Yeah, we've had some damage, especially in Montgomery County there, and that's going to be in Illinois. About 1,400 folks without power as of last check. That's about 20 minutes ago. The line of showers right now are still moving eastbound. Everybody west of that, including downtown St. Louis, you're in the clear for severe weather risk for the next couple of hours here. That will diminish overnight as well. Not expecting to see anything, but we'll continue to monitor it here and through the overnight hours. But tomorrow, cooler, highs in the low 50s. Then we turn chilly for Saturday and Sunday, highs in the 40s and 30s. Then next week, a brief warm up before things turn south the second half of January. More coming up on that.
And we got some rain today. We needed rain, but as I look at that 7-day, it doesn't look like there's any precipitation in the forecast right now.
Not really. We're going to stay dry for the next week after this system gets out of here. So just cooler for the weekend.
All right. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. Of course, we're always streaming on 5+.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 5 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.